Hello, my name is Pastor Tim Wesley. I'd like to welcome you to another segment of 5 Minutes for Faith, whereby I'm going to be talking about dealing with the Judases in your life. When I speak about the Judases in your life, I'm speaking about those people that want to call themselves close friends of yours. Those people that are usually within your inner circle. These people usually know quite a bit about you. They know your habits. They know your likes. They know your dislikes. They know the things that turn you on. They know the things that turn you off. Many cases, they've broken bread with you. Many cases, they've slept under the same roof if you've slept. I want you to understand these Judases in your life, they're alive and well this day and time just as well as they were in the biblical time. In the book of Matthew, chapter 26, we see how Jesus dealt with the Judas in his life. In Matthew 26, we see that Jesus, first of all, pointed out the fact that he knew Judas was there. He knew that there was a betrayer amongst him, and he made note of that. Not only did he make note of it, but many would say, well, what did he do, Pastor? How did he treat him? Did he treat him indifferently once he was fully aware who Judas was? He did not. Jesus himself treated him just as he treated the other disciples. He did not change the way he treated his Judas simply because he knew who he was. I want you to understand we should be able to do the same thing. God is going to do something with us just as he did with Jesus. He's going to be able to point out the Judases in our lives. There are certain people in our life that don't mean us a bit of good. There are certain people in our lives that they don't look out for our best interest, but they want to take us down in order to get where we're at. There are certain people in our lives that they want to be in the position you're in. They want the things that God has blessed you with. They want to be in the area of town that you're in. They want the house that you live in. They want the wife that you have or the husband that you have. These Judases may claim and portray themselves as close friends and close associates, but they're simply looking at your habits. They're looking at the things you do in order to move into the places that you're at. I want you to understand that right now, but being able to recognize and accept the fact that we have Judases, we're better able to deal with those Judases. I want you to understand that in many cases we have blinders on. Many folks don't see the Judases in their life because they're refusing to believe that my good friend could be Judas, or this loved one of mine, my brother, my sister could be the Judas in my life. They're refusing to believe it, but I want you to understand we simply have to look at the example that we see in the book of 2 Samuel chapters 15 through 16 as we see Absalom, the son of David. He was the Judas for him at that time. Absalom wanted what David had. Absalom wanted the kingdom, so what he did, he got close enough to his father so that he knew all his father's habits, and he got close enough to his father so that he can start manipulating those people that were coming to the king so that he himself can take over the kingdom. But I want you to understand one thing that's very important. God, if you're serving him properly, if you're serving him and you're righteous in your life, God will not allow your Judases to sneak up on you. God is always going to expose the Judases. He's going to expose them. He's going to make them known to you. God is not going to allow you to be caught off guard by the Judases in your life. He's going to always make you fully aware of not only the fact that you have a Judas in your life, but also who they are. The Judases, they have selfish intentions. They're envious people. Those are people that look at your life and they want to be where you're at. I want you to understand, if we're fully aware of our Judases, we know how to deal with our Judases. Jesus himself knew that he was here for a specific reason, and he knew his main purpose for being here, so he was not sidetracked by his Judas. I want you to understand, neither was David sidetracked by his Judas, which was his son Absalom. But I want you to understand and be fully aware, where there is a Judas, there is going to be a Shimei. As we see in 2 Samuel chapter 16, Shimei, when he caught David down and out running away from that particular Judas, trying to save his life and spare the people that follow him, Shimei slung dirt. Shimei threw stones. Shimei was the one that talked about David. So you're going to have some Shimei's in your life. Just as sure as Judas comes after you and try to bring you down and put you down, you're going to have some Shimei's that's instigating and continue to stir up the mess. But I want you to understand, if you do as Jesus and David and remain focused on what God has you to do in your life and remain committed to his word and remain focused and walking on the track that God has placed you on, then you will be blessed. Don't get sidetracked because of Judas, because the moment that you get sidetracked because of the Judases in your life, you've missed the blessing that God has laid straight ahead for you. Don't worry about your Judases. Keep focused on God and point out to you that you can do in order to make sure that you maintain your balance and deal with Judas properly. Point out the fact that Judas is among you. Wait for him to speak or be identified. Don't allow him to sidetrack you, and know why you're here and what you're here and called to do. Dealing with the Judas in your